Hello, my name is Chrissy Hodges, and thank you so much for watching my video. I'm the host of the Stigma of Mental Illness Radio, and while I'm waiting to get my show up and running again, as I am finding a new platform for it, which will start very soon, I'll give you the details here in the next couple days, I just miss my connection so much weekly to be able to talk about mental illness, to be able to get people's feedback on mental illness, and so I just want to thank you for last week watching the video and letting me know what you thought about it and what you thought about the message. It just feels so much better to know that there are other people out there that live with mental illness and live successfully with it, and or are in different stages of their recovery, and that we're not alone and we're doing this together. So that's why I'm doing this little video series, just so I can feel more connected to you, and that hopefully wherever you are right now in your recovery, that you don't feel so alone. Last week I talked about the importance of being where you are in your recovery, no matter what the stage, or no matter whether or not you have to go back to a stage and work some of the things out. And this last week, as I was thinking about what was an important message to talk about that was relevant to me, I had several encounters with people that just hit a chord with me in my own journey of the amount of unworthiness that we feel once we're diagnosed with a disorder. This is something that I've never and never do want to admit to people, but here I am. As soon as I found out that I had a mental illness, I all of a sudden, had these bright red flashing lights, across my vision come up and say, "You are now mentally ill. Goodbye, life. Goodbye, everything I've ever wanted." I did feel a sense of relief that the symptoms that I had weren't necessarily my fault. However, I also felt like, how can I live any sort of successful life now I'm labeled mentally ill? I do want to say, before I really get into that the thought that someone cannot live their fullest potential with a mental illness is archaic. That is a fact. It hasn't been very long, only a few generations back, where a doctor would diagnose you with a mental illness, which we all know in an episode there can be full-on psychosis, and a doctor could tell you, this is as good as it gets. This is the best it's going to be. And you may be hospitalized for the rest of your life. That was not very long ago. Today, I want to remind you, it is no longer like that. However, we grew up, in my generation at least, I'm 38, thinking, I grew up in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I grew up thinking that institutions were people that just drool and scream, and I'm not like one of those people. But now I know, and now you know, that's not the case. And it doesn't have to be like that, and it can start with you. The way that I had to think about that, and the way that I talked with people this week about it, even though it was touching such a chord with me, and it made me explore that part of my recovery and my mental illness, was I tried to look at it as heartbreak. Have you ever had a heartbreak that hurt so bad that it felt like you were sick? You woke up in the morning and you thought, oh my gosh, it's still there, and you have all this pain and this doom feeling, but you don't have any outward symptoms, but yet you're trapped by this heartache. And then time will heal it, but you make the decision on whether or not that experience dictates the rest of your life. You can take it and you can say, this happened, but I'm going to move forward. Or you can take it and you can become a victim and limit yourself the rest of your life. I thought about it that way, and it just made sense. All of us experience heartbreak, heartache, loss at some point in our life, and we have the opportunity to take it and learn from it, or take it and become a victim. And that was the aha moment for me this week of what it's like to be diagnosed with a mental illness. It's always seemed so much deeper than that. It's because I decided to look at it as my identity. So there's nothing I can do about it. I have this mental illness the rest of my life. I go in and out of episodes, and it does intrude on a lot of the things in my life and a lot of the decisions that I make and how I react to things. But you know what? I still have a choice. I still have a choice to advocate for myself, to find out the best treatment that works for me, and to look into my future and say, that's what I want. And I'm gonna go get it. And I'm not gonna let this illness hinder me. In my advocacy in the last few years and in the radio show, I have seen almost every single disorder and someone that lives within every single disorder that lives successfully, that have reached all of their goals, that lives a happy and successful and full life. There's treatment out there for everyone. It all begins with you. Now, being diagnosed with a mental illness sucks. I'm not going to lie. It's awful. It's an awful label. It's the flashing red lights. This is what I am. This is who I am. And we can either cower at that light, or we can say, okay, I'm just going to turn you off. I'm going to turn that light off, and I am going to move forward. You can't jump over it and pretend like it's not there. You can't hide from it because it's always going to be there. You have to move through it. What you have to do is decide what it is that you're worth. And I'm here to tell you today, and I'm telling myself too, trust me, this is like me looking in the mirror. You're worth it. You deserve a good life. Yeah, you're going to have this illness the rest of your life, and it's unpredictable. Sometimes it's unacceptable, and sometimes it just bogs you down, but that doesn't mean that you aren't worth it and that you don't deserve whatever it is that you want. So I just want to leave you with that. First of all, if that's how you feel, you're not alone. I mean, a lot of us just stop talking when it comes to the disorder. We're like, here's where it is, and that's where it ends. And that's not true. There's so much more that goes along with it. And chances are, whatever you struggle with moving forward after your treatment, we are all experiencing too. I just want you to know that whatever it is, you're not alone. And in all honesty, I'm here telling you, or talking to you, just so I don't feel so alone as well. So the thought that I want to leave you with today is that, again, wherever you are in your recovery, or if you still have those lingering feelings that your life and your identity is defined by your illness, it's not. You're not alone. We're all in this together. And my hope is that all of us that have grown up with this thought that because we are plagued with disorders, that means that we don't deserve a good life. My hope and my vision for us is that moving forward, we move beyond that and we say, what we've been through makes us unique. It enriches our life to a point where we can relate to people different. There is no one path to happiness, but you have to just forge your own path no matter what obstacles you have to face. And that we can show the generations under us that this is a movement, and we're on the ground floor. So reach out to people. Go out there. There's tons of resources for you. There's support groups online. There are advocates. There are international foundations that you can find on the internet. And do what you can to tell your story. And do what you can to heal what's going on inside, and know that you're worth everything and that you deserve everything in life that you want. That's what I wanted to leave with you today. And honestly, maybe I needed to hear it this week too. So I'm telling myself that too. I will let you know next week where to tune in to hear my radio show. I'm super excited to have it back on. And also, if you have any questions or if you want to contact me, please feel free to email me at ocd.chrissie@gmail.com. That's ocd.chrissy@gmail.com. Or you can friend me on Facebook, Chrissy Hodges, Hodges, or The Stigma of Mental Illness Radio. Give me a big like. I hope you have a great week. I'm looking forward to next week and being able to hang out with you again face to face. And just remember, everything that you want is just a mindset away, and you deserve it. Have a great week. I'll see you later. Bye.